The sun hung low in the sky as I pulled into the driveway of our tiny, pale blue house on the outskirts of Los Angeles. My heart pounded against the worn fabric of my Nike sports bra, the residue of adrenaline from my evening run still coursing through my veins. I slipped out of my car, shutting the door with a soft click, and paused for a moment to admire the glittering horizon. The city was like a sprawling sea of possibilities, shimmering with promise, danger, and everything in between. Sometimes, LA felt like a dream. Other times, it was a nightmare I couldn't wake up from. I stepped inside, greeted by the familiar scent of lavender from the Glade plugins Mom insisted on using. Our living room was a modest, cluttered space. Textbooks from my senior year at North Hollywood High sprawled across the IKEA coffee table, mingled with remnants of Mom's old issues of People magazine. Life was messy here, but it was our mess. As I kicked off my well-worn Adidas sneakers, my eyes fell on Dad's old Polaroid camera, sitting atop the fireplace mantel. It looked like a relic from another age, a time before everything got so complicated. My phone buzzed in the pocket of my Lululemon leggings. I pulled it out, noticing the notification from Instagram. Just another like on my post from this morning. Black and white, moody, a perfect capture of LA's dark underbelly. People loved that gritty juxtaposition of glamour and gloom. They didn't know how real it was, how the darkness could seep into your very soul. I wrapped myself up in my favorite Patagonia fleece, feeling an odd chill despite the LA evening heat. I couldn't shake the feeling that I was being watched. It was as if something, was out there, lurking behind the curtains of normalcy that we so carefully drew around our lives. The feeling first crept up on me a few weeks ago. At first, it was just a prickle on the back of my neck, but now it was a constant, gnawing presence. It started with small signs. My favorite Starbucks tumbler had gone missing, only to reappear 2 days later in the exact spot I'd left it. My Spotify playlist would change suddenly, mid-song, to tracks I'd never heard before. I brushed it off as tech glitches or my overactive imagination. But the Polaroids were harder to dismiss. The first one appeared on my desk one morning, an image of me asleep in my bed, my hair fanned out like a golden halo. I'd never been so coldly terrified in my life. The second photo came a week later, this time taped to my bathroom mirror. Me in the shower, faint steam obscuring the lens. I shuddered at the thought of someone watching me, knowing my routines, my vulnerabilities. I never told Mom. She had enough to worry about, working late shifts at the hospital, always exhausted but pushing through. She didn't need my paranoia stacked on top of it all. But tonight, the feeling was stronger than ever. I turned on the lights in every room, the soft hum of the old bulbs doing little to ease my anxiety. I grabbed my iPhone and started scrolling mindlessly through TikTok, trying to drown out the noise in my head. It was then that I noticed the house's Wi-Fi signal. It had a name I didn't recognize: Watcher. A cold sweat broke out across my forehead. Every horror movie trope I'd ever laughed at now felt like a chilling possibility. I tried rationalizing it. Maybe a new neighbor had set it up, unaware of the uninvited dread it carried. With trembling hands, I texted my best friend, Jess. Just a quick, "Hey, can you come over?" in case things got too real. A psychological anchor to keep me grounded. Meanwhile, I decided to confront my fear directly. I powered up Dad's old Polaroid camera, checking the film, only a couple of shots left. I made my way through the dimly lit house, snapping pictures of each corner, each shadowy crevice. Finally, I steeled myself and aimed it at myself in the bathroom mirror, my reflection pale and wide-eyed. I waited for the photos to develop, the suspense almost unbearable. The first ones were just ordinary, empty rooms, but the last one, the one from the bathroom, was different. Behind my own startled reflection was another figure, almost imperceptible, but undeniably there, a shadowy silhouette. My stomach churned, bile rising in my throat as I dropped the Polaroid, letting it flutter to the floor. In that moment, the line between reality and nightmare blurred irrevocably. The darkness I'd always felt creeping around the edges of my life had finally stepped into the light,